2 a.m. You're lying in bed, thinking about a conversation from 5 years ago, planning next week's meeting, wondering if hedgehogs can swim, and you sigh. Why can't I just switch off? Your brain isn't broken. It's running an ancient program called the default mode network, the DMN. And in this video, I'll show you how to understand it and how to steer it. I'm Dr. Sanil Rege, consultant psychiatrist and educator. We're told focus is everything. Kill the chatter, crush distraction, hustle harder. So when our minds wander, we think something's wrong. But here's a twist you won't find on the productivity shelf. What if I told you that the very habit we dismiss as daydreaming once predicted Nobel Prize level creativity? Exact same circuit, different outcomes. Dial it right and you compose symphonies. Dial it wrong and you spiral into the darkest ruminations of major depression. That circuit, the default mode network, or DMN. It lights up in MRI scans when you rest, reflect, or self-evaluate. And it powers up whether you're recalling a memory or imagining tomorrow. So in this video, I'll walk you through 1. Why the DMN evolved. 2. Why evolution wired the self-talk loop in the first place. Here's a spoiler, it kept your ancestors alive. And what you can do tonight to shift it from overwhelm to clarity. So let's start off by understanding why a wandering mind helped us survive. Picture an ancestor at the campfire, the night is quiet, no hyenas, no rival tribes. The body can finally relax. But the mind? It's busy running simulations. Will lions show up at dawn? Where did I stash those edible roots? If someone gave him a strange look. Here's why the DMN matters. 1. It's a time travel machine. It lets you replay the past and preview the future, so you can learn from mistakes before they cost you. 2. Social radar. It guesses what other people might be thinking, which keeps friendships and alliances intact. And 3rd, the identity editor. It stitches all your memories together into a story called Me. Turn that system off and you'd blank on small talk questions or lose your car in the supermarket car park. Turn it up too high and it turns a harmless typo into a catastrophic career ending because the DMN doesn't know when to stop rehearsing. Here's the key. The DMN is neither friend nor enemy. It's the brain's ancient planning studio, essential when balanced, overwhelming when it takes over the show. So let's meet the DMN cast. Let me introduce you to the core players. First, we have the medial prefrontal cortex, your internal narrator. It tracks status and writes your self-talk. 2. The posterior cingulate and the precuneus. Think about these as the film editors. They splice the past and future into memory reels. 3rd, the angular gyrus, the librarian. Tags and retrieves autobiographical facts. 4th, the hippocampus. The hippocampus and its entourage keep track of where you are, both in physical space and your life story. Example, close your eyes and picture your childhood bedroom. That's your hippocampus. Now here's the wild part. Even when you think you're doing nothing, these nodes volley electrical messages and signals. 0.1 Hz slow cortical potentials. Here's what's wild. Altogether, the DMN can consume up to 60 to 80% of the brain's resting energy budget. That makes it the most expensive idle screen you'll ever run. So now that you know the DMN's main characters, let's zoom out and see how they chat with the rest of the brain. Here comes the brain's group chat. Think of your brain as running 3 WhatsApp threads at once. We have the DMN, the inner monologue, all the self-talk, daydreams, and mental what-ifs. 2, the central executive network. Think about this as the task smashes. Keeps you on the spreadsheet, remembers the shopping list, solves Sudoku. And 3rd, the salience network. Breaking news. This is the newsroom that decides what's urgent right now, what we call salience. So here's how it works. The salience network decides what matters, what's important. It toggles between the CEN when focused and DMN when resting. So CEN, or the Central Executive Network, takes over if you need to focus, say balancing budget. DMN gets the floor when there's no immediate task, like during a hot shower, where ideas often pop up. When this switchboard misfires, things get interesting. For example, in ADHD, the DMN crashes into working memory. This is where individuals daydream when they're meant to focus. Meditation and the toggle sharpens. Here, the prefrontal cortex, the central executive network, is able to silence the DMN at will. So your sense of presence or distraction depends on which group chat has the mic at any moment. So let's look at what happens when the DMN derails. When the DMN is overactive, like in depression, it loops negative self-talk. In PTSD, it floods with flashbacks and intrusive memories of trauma. ADHD, it leaks into attention and focus time. Schizophrenia, it syncs with the inner speech to create voices. By now, you can hear the DMN humming in the background of your own thoughts. But here's a subtle twist. The exact same circuitry that can write symphonies or script catastrophes depending on how we steer it. Think about when your brightest ideas pop up during a jog, in the shower, or while rinsing dishes. This is known as creative incubation. DMN roams, then offers insights. Rumination is exactly the same loop, but it's stuck in threat mode. Change the emotional tag from danger to curiosity, and the loop becomes useful again. So here's a perspective. You don't need a new brain, just a new steering wheel. All right, so theory is great, but you're asking me, how do we retune the DMN in real life? So here are 5 interventions backed by research. First, mindfulness. 8 weeks of mindfulness practice quiets the medial prefrontal cortex. But we know mindfulness isn't for everyone. 2, psychedelic therapy. Again, not for everyone, but evidence suggests that it temporarily flattens DMN connectivity. Third, deep sleep. Here, one can use medication or CBTI because this restores rhythm. Fourth, RTMS or transcranial magnetic stimulation. 10 Hz pulses can calm the mind-wandering hubs. And fifth, medication. These include antidepressants, guanfacine, or stimulants in ADHD because they shift the balance towards focus. But remember, this is about optimal balance. Too little and too much create dysfunction. And here are 5 things you can try right now. Try this mini toolkit. First, the 90-second sensory reset. Pause, list 5 sounds and 5 colors around you. This instantly drags attention to the present and nudges the DMN off stage. 2, boundary journaling. Here you can schedule a 10-minute worry window. Giving rumination an appointment stops it barging in uninvited. Third, micro meditations. 3 deliberate breaths every time you hit send on an email. Tiny reps strengthen the salience switch. Fourth, a doom scroll curfew. Power down blue light screens at least an hour before bed, so the DMN can slip naturally into its night shift mode. And fifth, movement snacks. 60 seconds of high knees on the hour. Why? Because proprioceptive touch pressure input jolts the network from idle to engaged. But you'll probably ask me right now, but what about all this self-talk that's negative? This is what we do. We reframe the self-talk into strategic thinking. So we use all those tools, but the most sustainable upgrade is how you talk to yourself. I use a 4-step loop. First, notice the story playing. 2, name it. It could be fear of failure, old shame, whatever fits. Third, neutralize. Ask, is there real evidence? And fourth, navigate. Redirect to an actionable next step. You could even ask the question, what do I need right now? And can I ask someone for that help? Run that cycle often enough and your DMN stops scripting catastrophes. So let me summarize all of this for you. Mind wandering is evolution's gift. DMN is the planner, the memory maker, and the self-narrator. When overactive, it distorts reality. But you can guide it with micro habits, mindfulness, and targeted supports. Use medication if needed. Discuss it with a medical professional. If this video helped you decode your inner monologue, subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with someone who overthinks. Clinicians, visit the Academy by Psych scene, where we connect neurobiology to psychology and psychopharmacology so that we can match the appropriate medications and therapy to the appropriate symptoms. I'm Dr. Sanil Rege, and until next time, stay curious. Bye-bye.